Hi, I'm Asia, and welcome back to the Strange Days Diaries. I am currently in a place that I've been really wanting to show you guys. If, by the way, this is one of the first times you're seeing my face or clicking on one of my videos, like I said, my name is Asia, and I live and travel full-time out of my 1990 Chevy Astro van named Spec. We have a real good time over here. I just basically make solo female van life content. So if that's something you're interested in, then definitely consider subscribing. I post twice a week. Anyways, guys, currently I am in Salton City. Now, if you're a follower of the channel or if you know me personally, then you know how much I love an abandoned town. I love a desert, like sun-bleached town, and this is 100% that. Salton City is not classified as a ghost town. It isn't fully abandoned, but it is partially abandoned. It is by the Salton Sea, and it's just a really funky, cool spot. So I thought I'd come over today, show you guys Salton City. I've only been here once, one other time, and I feel like it was kind of a whirlwind kind of drive through. So I really want to spend time, get out, explore some of the abandoned buildings, and just see what it has to offer, you know? So let's check it out. It's just desolate, desolate, desolate out here, which, as you guys know, I absolutely love. I'm still trying to find out and figure out why I love places like this that are desolate or abandoned. You know, I don't know, just something about it. And then way out there is the Salton Sea. You can kind of see it. Maybe I'll get close enough to the water at some point so you guys can really get a feel for where this partially abandoned town is located. So I've been spending the last week, actually the last 2.5 weeks, out in the desert, out here near the Salton Sea. And I love the desert, as you guys know, but I thought I'd give you some insight on what Salton City is and what it used to be. And so basically Salton City is right on the Salton Sea. It used to be a bustling kind of getaway town right by the Salton Sea. The Salton Sea back in the 50s and 60s was a place that a lot of people, especially out in LA and Southern California, would come and have getaway homes and vacation homes. They would go water skiing. It was like all the rage back in the day. But then the sea turned toxic. It started to evaporate faster than was expected. This wasn't supposed to be a sea anyways. And anyways, long story short, it just it ended up becoming toxic and people abandoned the place. Now, not a lot of people live out here or just around the Salton Sea in general. And also, based on research, I've heard and read that a lot of folks, unfortunately, who do live out here around the Salton Sea ultimately develop kind of tough, like, lung and breathing issues because of the toxic dust that they're breathing in all the time. So it's a really interesting, unique place that used to be totally bustling, but is now mostly abandoned. And it's not just Salton City where we're exploring today, but all over the Salton Sea area. Like I was just at Bombay Beach, a lot of places are like this, just abandoned, but used to be really popular vacation towns. Thing that really struck me the first time I was out at Salton City was just the sea of power lines and power poles, but hardly any infrastructure and buildings. It's kind of weird looking and interesting, just all the power poles, but hardly any buildings. And you can see them way out in the distance. It's like miles and miles and miles of these power poles. I don't know if that would strike anyone like it struck me. I don't know if you can see that boat right there at the base of that power pole, but there's a lot of abandoned boats just like half buried in the desert out here because the sea used to be a lot higher, like the sea level by the Salton Sea. So there's lots of boats out here just like that. Okay, I promise this is the last time I talk about the power poles, but I feel like this is an even better like angle of just the sea of miles of power poles. Okay, that's it about the power poles, I promise. That's the last time I talk about it. But come on, look at that. Right? Look at that house. Wow. That's wild. It's really sad, actually. And all the stuff's just strewn about. Alright, I stopped here at the end of the road. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to hear me that well. Just to show you the Salton Sea out here. I'll zoom in a little bit. There she is. I could be totally wrong, but I feel like the Salton Sea literally used to come up to here. And then there were big houses like this one and all out here. But obviously a lot of that is gone now. I remember years ago when I did come out here, it was 2020. So I'm hoping the buildings aren't torn down now that it's like 5 years later. But when I was here in 2020, I found a whole block of just completely abandoned buildings. And now I'm on the hunt for that. We'll see. Oh man, this is kind of rough. All right. Anyways, I'm on the hunt for that specific block. But Salton City is actually really big, so we'll see if I can find it or if I can just find like a general area of lots of abandoned buildings. That would be cool because I really want to get out and like explore a part that's totally abandoned. But a lot of, you know, parts of the city are still inhabited. Like I'm pretty sure someone lives there. Looks really nice, but you know, someone lives over there, but we'll find it. Because I found it last time, and unless it's all been torn down, it should be here. Here's an obviously inhabited part of town. It's actually kind of nice. I also just passed a little mobile home park that seemed really, really nice and well kept. It's just such an interesting place because it's like people obviously living and caring for their homes out here, butting right up with just this, like nothing, and abandoned spots. Ooh, over there looks kind of promising, although this dirt road, I'm not trying to get stuck in sand today, but I bet I could do it. All right, let's try. Spec can do it. She's all-wheel drive, baby. Hell yeah. No problem. No freaking problem. And there's some buildings I might want to check out. So I just pulled up to where I could go in and explore these abandoned buildings, but there's a big old no trespassing sign here. And I have seen some people around here kind of keeping an eye, so I'm not gonna risk it. So I'll try to find something else. I'm gonna keep hunting for that entire block of buildings that I saw at least back in 2020 they existed. Okay, I could be totally wrong, but I feel like it was right around here where all those abandoned buildings were back in 2020. And I don't want to give up looking, but I kind of feel like they've been torn down. And I also did some research recently on Salton City, and I learned that they're actually trying to kind of revitalize the town. So it would kind of make sense if they tore down all those buildings to then rebuild. So I haven't totally given up hope yet, but I will say I've driven all over this town at this point and have not seen it. But there's a lot of land like this that there was like definitely buildings, and then there's even, you can't really see it, but there's a for sale sign. There's lots of like real estate and for sale signs around here, which might have always been the case, but that could also be new because they're trying to kind of revitalize the town. I don't really know. Hi, so I've been pulled over for the last, I want to say like 20 minutes, just searching, zooming in and out of Google Maps, trying to find this freaking like block of abandoned buildings that I discovered back in 2020. And I genuinely think they were torn down, which is super sad. And once again, makes me wish I had been vlogging and filming my life years ago, because I've done and seen so much that's just not filmed. But I digress. I think I'm gonna head out of Salton City. The video is not ending here by any means, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little segment of me exploring Salton City. I know I didn't get out much and explore, but that's because a lot of the abandoned buildings now have huge no trespassing signs. A lot of them even have security cameras, and there's also a lot of private property signs, and I just don't want to disobey those signs, especially because a lot of people still live here too, and they could be watching, you know, you never know. So I'm gonna go get gas, but here we go. Here's another adventure that's about to happen. There's this casino that has gas for $3.50, which is amazing compared to the $5.50 I've been paying, okay? But apparently there's some kind of a road closure for the like 3-4 miles I need to drive to get to this casino. But Google Maps says I can still get there. So we're about to find out if this road closure is the entire road or maybe just one lane, because I'm trying to pay $3.50 and not $5.50 for gas. So we're about to find out, and I'm pretty low. I don't know if you can see that, but let's figure this out. Hopefully it's open. I've really been banking on going to this casino for gas for the last like week. I just hopped onto the main highway here, and it's pretty free and clear as of now. We shall see if this stays the way. I literally need to go like 4 miles down this road to the casino. Hell yeah. Okay, it looks like Google Maps totally lied about the closure, or they just lifted the closure, but we are good to go. I am so happy. Here we are at the wonderful Red Earth Casino. I am digging those prices, I tell you what. $83.74, much better than over $100. I get unleaded plus, so it was $4.04, but still way better than $5.50. I just pulled over in a spot that I'm so stoked to show you guys. You're gonna absolutely love it. Okay, I feel like this would be much better to show you guys in the morning with the morning light, but this is the Borrego Badlands and it's just so cool. It's like these really epic Badland rolling hills. And I don't know, I just think they're gorgeous. This is the first stop. There's a few other stops down the road that I'm gonna take you to with different views, but I just love them. Like I imagine cowboys kind of going through those crevices and like canyons coming through, you know, like Wild West shit out here, you know. Anyways, sorry about all the wind, but let's go to a different spot where it has a little bit better view of the Badlands. Here's another stop. This is like an official stop to see the Badlands. There's even a sign here, the worth of Badlands. Feel free and pause, I can't speak. Feel free and pause the video if you wanna read this. I might take a closer look here in a sec, but I wanna show you guys the view first. Check it out. To some, this might be so boring and like, oh, it's just a bunch of rocks. But no, it's not a bunch of rocks. It's a bunch of cool rocks. Like, look at all that detail. That's just so cool to me. I know there's wind in the mic here. I know it's so annoying, but this is just so cool. All the craggy washes and deep valleys and stuff there. I'm taking a closer look at this sign now, and it looks like they found a mammoth skull out here in the Badlands, which is so cool. It says this area is a paleontologist's dream because this area contains layers of rock with a lot of natural history with fossils locked into the rocks. And then this is so beautiful. This is kind of what I'm talking about as far as like low light or morning light goes, how gorgeous the land looks in that kind of light. And they call it elephant knees. And it looks like elephant knees. That's pretty cool. Well, this was super fun. I'm glad I could bring you guys along with me today, exploring the Salton Sea and just a little bit of the Badlands and all of that. I just really wanted to kind of get out of town, get out of camp. I've just been camping out here in the desert for the last couple weeks, like I said earlier, and I wanted to explore a little bit more. I've been doing hiking, walking, but I've also been chilling out and relaxing in the van, working on projects a lot. I'll be updating you a lot of stuff the members already know out on the members side of YouTube, but I do think I'm gonna wrap the vlog here. I really enjoyed bringing you guys along with me today, and I am so excited for the next few vlogs that are coming out. You guys are gonna love it. Definitely don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and thanks again for joining me. Don't forget to stay safe out there, guys. Stay safe on the road especially, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.